everybody, I'm Holly with Holly Lambert Wreath, and tonight we're going to be making a grapevine wreath with florals, and we are going to use red and white florals and some greenery and a bow. So really you can use this technique and the whole red and white theme for anything summery, even Christmas, fall, especially Valentines, which is what I'm making right now. Spring, summer, you can make this with anything, okay? So use this template to maybe come up with some of your own floral designs. So let me show you what we are going to start to be using as far as um, things like scissors, okay? So we're going to use scissors. Let me turn on this thing and I'll show you kind of what I'm using here. So I am using, we will be using a glue pot right here. So basically with a glue pot, you can use a glue gun. A glue gun works just fine. And it might be the best for you in this scenario, or you can use a glue pot. Now I did purchase this glue pot off Amazon. You can get one at Walmart. I would go for a bigger one though, because this one, the heating is not exactly the way I would want it, but hey, that's okay. So besides scissors, I'm going to be using some floral cutters. Okay. These are my favorite. These are DeWalt brand. They are DeWalt DWHT 74274. That was without my glasses. Okay, just so you know. Then I will be using different greeneries. I used these right here for my bow. Okay, this was for my bow, and they are just zip ties. Then I will be using some red colors. I will be using some white colors. I might incorporate some longer stems like this. And then I also use a pick machine occasionally if I cannot get what I need to inside the wreath. All right, and then I'm going to use a bow, which I've already kind of pre-made just for time's sake, okay? So let's get started. We're going to come back here to me right now, and let me just set the camera where it needs to be. And all right, so the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to switch sides. Okay, hold on just a second. This is like a new camera thing. Okay, so we've got this here, and the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put on the bow. And the reason I'm putting on the bow right now is because then I want to do the greenery around the bow. Okay, sometimes I do my greenery first, and it just totally depends on what kind of wreath I'm making. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Now, I did make this with the Easy Bow Maker. I made my last one with the Pro Bow, and sometimes I make them from hand, okay? It just so happened that this was kind of the look I was going for. So I'm going to attach this by these set of pipe cleaners, or these set of zip ties that are on the back, okay? If you can see these zip ties right here, they're on the back. I'm going to zip tie this right here into the wreath, okay? So I'm just going to take it, and I am going to see which way I want it to go. And, a bow doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be on the same lines that you think it has to be on. In fact, imperfect is perfect half the time. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm simply going to put it through the wreath on this side right here. So I'm going to put it through the wreath right about there. That way you won't be able to see it, even though I'll probably cover it up with greenery, just to be on the safe side. So we're going to put this in here and put it through the back, okay? Then I'm going to take this, and I am going to take it to the middle, and then I'm just going to attach it in the back. All right, and a zip tie is really super simple. You could take your zip ties, and not your zip ties. I'm doing it with zip ties. You could take the pipe cleaners, and you could do it with pipe cleaners and put it through the grapevine. You may need to use some needle nose pliers to pull that through. Sometimes it's not so simple, but Totally doable. I do it all the time. Okay. Um, so I'm going to start with some greenery. Okay, so I put my bow on there. All right. First of all, let me just do a little fluff job here. And so I'm going to take this, and now wreath makers, we can honestly fluff our bows and fluff our bows and fluff our bows. We could fluff them all day. So you gotta get over that. Everybody gotta get over that. And let's just fluff them once right now, just one time. Okay, let's just get everything where it's supposed to be, so we can kind of get the full effect of what it's going to look like. Now, I am going to possibly bring a little bit of this to the middle. Okay, so I'm going to put my tails in the back. All right. Now we've got one here, we've got one here, and we've got one here. This one we've got two of, and this one we have one of. Okay. So I'm definitely, this one's going to go down the middle. Oh, and we have a black one too. So it's actually going to go a little bit over here. Now for right now, while I'm doing this, I'm going to curl these up. Now to curl them, I just put it around my fingers right there. I take it, and I'm wrapping it kind of around my thumb, and then I'm just going up like that. And I'm going to do that on each of these. So again, I'm taking it and putting it kind of in that finger, then around my thumb, like this, and then I'm just going to roll it, okay? And right now, I'm just doing this to get it out of the way. Okay, so I'm just going to roll these up just to get them out of my way. I still want to know they're there, though. I want to know what colors I have going on there. So therefore, I will kind of get it to where we can see it. All right. So I've got just a couple more to do, and then I'm going to do the same thing up here. All right. So again, I'm just taking this like this. I'm putting it in between my fingers, my thumb, and I'm just rolling, 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 rolling. All right. Got one more to do over here on the side. Taking it and rolling it, and I'll pull that down a little bit. These up here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to roll them again, kind of to get them out of my way, but yet I also do want to know what colors are up there. I want to know where they fall. I want to know the colors. I want to know the possibilities. So me rolling these gets them out of my way, but I also know that I can pull them up, pull them around, and then if I need to add more because I think that looks good, I can absolutely do that. All right. So let's see what we've got here. All right. Now, I know it's not precious yet, but it'll get there. All right. So no more playing with the bow. Oh my goodness. Now, these pans get very hot. These glue pans. Here, let me show you. So these get super hot. You got to stir them. And you got to turn it down. So you need to get it hot and stir it. It's really a good thing. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in some greenery. So I just toss greenery kind of around. I did buy this, I believe, at General Wholesale. And I bought some in little pieces like this. And then I also bought some that I could cut apart. So when we do that, let's say this is the bush right here. Okay, so here's the bush. And I'm just going to take this, pull this off, obviously. My clients really don't want to see that. And then I'm going to take it, and I am going to take this stem, I'm going to push it up, okay? And I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to cut it off. All right, so here's a piece that we're going to use. Now, I want this wreath to be, sitting up. Okay, so looks pretty good on there. All right, I said I wasn't going to play with that anymore, and I'm not. So I'm going to start with some pieces out here, okay, going up here. And so what I'm going to do, now you can do two things. You can just glue this and stick it in. That'll be fine. Which for this piece, it's probably going to work just fine. But then I also use my pick machine for smaller things that don't have quite such a stem like this. It's not quite as lengthy. So I'm just sticking this in the top because I do want this to shoot out the top, okay? Just like that. So I'm going to come around and get another piece. This piece I already cut off, okay? I already cut it off and I already pushed this up. Okay, make sure you push that up because you want to get your denseness up here, all right? I'm going to dip this in here again. Actually, since I pushed it up, I think I'm going to cut the stem a little bit. I don't need all that stem because it's just going to show through the back. And then it's just a little more cleanup that we do have to do on the back because basically, if you're doing this for yourself or someone else, everybody wants to see a nice looking back. So now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this right down here. Okay, so it's kind of coming out the bottom. All right. Now I want to do another one that's coming out right here so we can see it really nicely. So let's look for another piece that I've cut, which is this one. And I'm going to push it up. And this one looks like it's a little smaller. It's a little smaller. That's okay. We've pushed it up. We have our stem. I'm dipping it in my glue. I'm just dipping it in my glue. And then and then it looks kind of like this. Sometimes I wipe it off a little bit. Totally fine. And then you do like this. That's one of those professional, you know, we all do like this, right? Okay, so I'm going to put that like that. All right, so now we've got some greenery around that part of it. And now I want to do some in the middle. So I've used all those pieces. So I'm going to come back here in this bush and I'm going to push it up and I'm going to cut this piece off. Okay, I'm going to see now there's a huge stem right here. Okay, so I can take this, I can push this up, I can push this next part up, and I can really play with this greenery and make it to be whatever I want it to be. I can bend it, I can move it, I can pretty much do anything, okay? Because good greenery is a greenery that you can bend and move, and it's kind of like nature, you know. You want everything to look like nature. So, you know, sometimes I'll just go on outings and I will literally go and take pictures of nature. All right. So I'm going to move a little bit of this a little this way. Okay. Okay. And that is a ribbon. Whoops. I think I need a different support system. Now we'll play with those later. I know. Stop me when I do that, because goodness knows I'm like everyone else, and I will play with it, because I love ribbon. Anyway, I'm going to take this again, dip it, and we're going to take this and we're going to put this right in here. Now, I do want this to come off the greenery quite a little bit, so I'm not going to push it in too far at all, okay? All right. And part of the great thing about doing florals is if you mess up, you can go back. If you want to change something, you can do that. So this bow to me is a little bit inward. So I'm going to pull it just a little bit out this way. Then I'll have to fluff it. But I really want this greenery to be seen in the middle. Okay. Now this is from where I put it on, which I will cut that off at the end. Normally I do that now, but I'm not ready to do that. Okay, so we can see that a little bit. All right, Whoops. Hello. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's my first YouTube, right? Okay. I'm going to take some of this fern right now, and I love this. It's my favorite one. So I'm going to take it and put it around this wreath as well. So again, now I did get this at the at-home store. It was $6, and that's a great buy, guys. Great buy for this quality. I really love this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off, 3 or 4 pieces of this because I will be using it. If that thing falls, let me know. Let me know if that falls, okay? Let's see. All right, so I've got 3 pieces of it. Well, I'm just going to knock it off. That's how it's going to go. All right, so sometimes, and this is always the best thing, before you glue it down, you might want to look and see where it's going to be, okay? And see if that's how you want it. See if you want to turn your wreath a little bit, because you may want to, and then you may want this up just a tiny bit. So I want these to hang down kind of like this. So I think I'm going to take this and put this up here, right about there. And you know what? My little thing's going to fall. All right, so see how I kind of play with it, and I put it in different areas. Where do I like it? Do I like it there? Do I like it here? Do I like it here? Here. 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 So we kind of like it all those places. That's why I'm going to put more than one. Okay, now this is where I would use a pick machine, because see the small stem? That is not going to go into the grapevine. Now, if you are not able to use one of those, a pick machine, all I would say is cut this off. Cut this off to make this a longer stem, okay? So we are going to go ahead and dip that in our glue pot, and then I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to put this right back here. Okay, so we can already have some elements coming down. Now I'm kind of bending it to how I want it. Actually, see how I pulled that out? I don't want it right there. I want it more up here. Now, it is not Halloween. However, I'm collecting glue. That's just the way it is. And at the end, you can remove that. And I would recommend that. Okay, so let's see. Now, when I do projects, I use a lot of different kinds of greenery, sometimes different colors, sometimes different variations. And so I'm going to go ahead and use the same one I've been using. I'm going to go ahead and clip these off, which I really do love, these little pieces of greenery. And I'll show you what you can do with those. Don't ever throw those away. I'm telling you, you will hate the day, because one day you'll go, oh, if I just had that little tiny piece of whatever, I could put that right in the middle of my bow and it looks so cute. So I'm going to go for on top here. Okay. Now my wreath is not staying on my nail super well, and I could put a hanger on that, which I do put a hanger on all my wreaths. Okay, but you know what? Let me just show you how to do that, since mine doesn't want to stay on there. So sometimes just to wire things down for right now, if I can't find my wreath holder stuff, I just am going to take a tie right like this. I'm going to find the top of it. So now that we kind of have a little bit of the greenery in, if I could find what I use, I would do that. So I kind of like it right here. Okay, I kind of like it. Let's see. Kind of like it right around there. So the middle is going to be right back here. So I'm going to take this, and all I'm going to do just to hold this on my wreath stand, I'm just going to run one of these up there. I'm going to tie it off like this, and I'm just tying it off, and then I'm going to put this on my tab up here, and I will literally secure it on there by twisting it or doing whatever it is that you need to do to kind of make that stay up there. Okay. Let me bring this down a bit. Right, now this is kind of what we have going on so far. So I'm going to do some more greenery, and I'm really liking this right now, so I'm going to use that again. And I'm going to just cut. Okay, now see here again, I thought this was a separate piece, right? But it's not. It actually goes with this piece. So this is why we push it all up. So you can have those variations of different kinds of greenery on your stem. It gives it more dimension. It gives it more excitement in my world. So again, I'm going to take some glue, and I'm going to go back at it over here again. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of spread this out. All right, what I think I might do on these is I think I'm going to go ahead and dovetail them. And when I dovetail them, I just put them together like that, kind of fold it. At this crease right here, right in the center, you're going to put your knife, you're going to put your scissors, and then you're going to take it all the way up to the top where two ends meet to make that right there. Okay, that's not so pretty. Happens to all of us. Happens to all of us. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do another one. Now, I'm not going to cut them as short as I probably will end up cutting them, but at least they are somewhat cut. Okay, I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it a fluff. And I'm going to try to get my ribbons a little bit in place. I really, really like this ribbon right here. This animal print ribbon. Look at that, guys. That's terrible. Let's do this again. Fold it in half, Holly. Holly, fold it in half. Okay, here we go. Cut it. Now, better, better. Not an A, probably a B. That's okay. All right. I'm going to try to get, I am going to fluff it again. And I'm going to try to get everything in its place yet again. Okay. Now when I do this, if you notice, I kind of take this and lift it and go like that, and it gives you already a little bit of a curl. So you can start back here in the back. You can lift it, give it a curl, lift it, give it a curl. This is kind of in the way. Again, lift it and give it a curl. You want to lift it right there. All right. And then lift it, give it a good lift. And then give this one a good lift. Okay. And it's kind of the same thing with your bows. Go in there with 2 fingers and just fluff that thing up. But you really, really want to start from the back. So put your 2 fingers in here and here. And I really kind of want these to go straight across if possible. I don't know where this little bad boy thinks he's going. So these kind of go straight across. Oh, looky here. Oh, that's the one that goes on the side. That goes right down the side. All right, so I'm fluffing. Now some of these tails I may cut off, cut down, I should say, cut down some. Okay. So let's come in here with some flowers now, and let's see where we are with our flowers. I think I'm going to start with some whites. So here's a great thing to do when you are making wreaths, guys. Let's say I've got this right here. Okay, this is it. Lots of pieces fall off. And don't throw those away because you can totally use those. So what I would do in this situation is I could take something like this that I would just get at Walmart. I could stick this in here, which is kind of the same thing like a toothpick would be. So I would stick this in here and I would glue that. Okay, I would glue that part, and which I'm just going to show you how I would do this with a toothpick. And this is what I do with flowers, with greenery, with anything like that that falls off its stem. I will glue it to other stems, or I will use one of these. Let's start by, we could put some reds in here. I think I'm going to start by putting this in here right here. And this came, it's an Ashland, so it came from Michael's. This was a signature. So this is something that you can get all year round. And I really recommend that, especially if you're making wreaths, to try to find something that you can get all year round if possible. It's just going to benefit you because you can do that same wreath if someone orders it at any time. Otherwise, you have to really figure out where you can find the supplies and that sort of thing. So right now I'm just kind of sticking this in, trying to figure out how I want this to lay. Okay, do I want it to come down here, off from here? And I think what I'll actually do is cut this into 2 pieces. So when I cut this into 2 pieces, I'm going to give this room, I'm going to cut it right here because I want to use this bottom stem to put it in, and I want to use this bottom stem to put it in, okay? Now, however, there is this stem right here. So I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to cut it down there. So it's like these are 2 separate pieces. Okay. I'm going to take this one because it's longer and it will come out a little bit more. I'm going to put it in first, and then, so we're just going to take this and we're going to put it right in there. All right. And you want to make sure your flowers are all nice and pretty. And here's a secret. If a petal has come off, you will probably find it. You probably will. Seems like I always find them. But for right now, I'm going to put this one on right here. I just removed one and I put it on this one in front. And I need my glasses because I'm doing surgery. Serious surgery. Okay. Now, I will probably find the one that goes in the back, but so I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to put another one coming right down here. So I'm going to take it and my glue pot. So you have to turn it up, turn it down. It got a little cold, which is fine. That just means it's probably going to stick even better. All right, I'm going to put that right there. So it's got a little play factor in it. All right. Now again, we can cut all this stuff to whatever we want. All right, we can cut these off, but I always hesitate to do it until I'm at the end because there's so many times that I've cut it way too short. Okay, so I'm going to take some white flowers now, and I kind of like these, just a few of them. I might cut one that's long. Okay, I have a bunch of them that came off their stems. These flowers tend to do that a lot, which that's what I was showing you before, was putting it on a stick. So I just put a little glue on a stick, and I'm going to put this up in here. Again, Mama needs her glasses. Now this glue is not very hot. I'm going to play with it Just plan on getting your hands glued. Now, this is not as hot as a glue gun. Thank goodness. That would have burned my fingers, my finger pads off my hand, which I do all the time. Okay, so I just like to find where, let's see where we like this. Okay, I'm going to stick it right down there. I had this glue all nice and hot. Now it's not. Okay. Check it out. It's not even going anywhere. I just turned it down. I do not know what kind of glue this is. I mean, I use Gorilla Glue. I use plain old glue. I use glue sticks. And I haven't found my favorite. I think it's my skillet, honestly. I need to invest in a new skillet. That's okay. I'm going to wait for just a second until this gets better. But while we're doing that, I'm also going to take, now I think stems like this, they really help to make a wreath fabulous. And the reason is because it gives it that dimension, that professional dimension that you see in stores, and it looks amazing. So, I mean, you could take this, it could go off over here, it could come down here and go off. You could kind of drape it. You could kind of drape it like this, kind of make it go back down into the wreath, if you can see that. Or put it here, kind of make it go back down into the wreath. So let me just take a look at it and see where I would probably put it. I'd probably put it like about there. All right. I don't even know if you guys can see that. I hope so. Now there's other ones. You could use this. You could use this greenery right here. It's just greenery. I use this on a lot of projects, or I use things like, I'll use things like this right here. This I really like because it's got all that moss. I like to do a lot of wreaths with moss and birds and nests and things like that. So this is really cool. And sometimes I make that myself. Sometimes I buy it. Just depends. So, but let's put a little bit more white in there. And because we haven't added that yet. So I really want to go for white, white, white. Okay. And we are waiting on our glue to dry. Or we're waiting on our glue to get hot enough, which it is. Okay. I can get some gluiness out of this right now. All right. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this right in here. Okay. And now there again, this is what we've got under here. I can cut this off. I can twist it. I can turn it. Most likely, I'll kind of cut it down a little bit. All right. So this is kind of what we've got going on over here. And it's okay. It's okay if things are hidden. Do you see that smoke coming off? Look at that. That's what happens. Oh my. Just broken up. Hold on. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Okay, guys. Knob goes on here only one way. So, surgery. I'm performing surgery. Okay. Surgery has been performed. Now, I'm going to take this big old piece of glue and I'm going to flip it like a waffle. Boom. That's what I do. Okay, now some of these little pieces, like we talked about, they could go, okay, they could go in here. They could go in between any of your greenery areas like that. If you guys can see that. Let me scroll that in a little bit. So, I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of nice to have a few pieces just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that in there. you want to make sure that you kind of have your bows like you want them. I do know that this is going to be here. This is going to be here in the middle of these two. So maybe I'll wait till the end. All right, so we've got that one. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these down some more. Okay, so now I do want to add a little bit more height right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add another, I'm going to add another one of these, but yeah, okay. I like to make sure they're the same. Yep. I like to look at all my options. And the reason I like to look at all my options is because sometimes in ferns, when you're looking at ferns, so you get down here to the middle and there's a lot of really small pieces that are fabulous. And usually I take those first. And then I'm left with the bigger stuff that I can use as more of the outside stuff in other projects. So all works out in my world. Okay, so now I'm going to want some more stuff coming down here. So let's see. We do have a little bit of this white that's kind of like this. I could get a piece of it and have some of it coming down and have some red coming down too. Let's see, but to do that, I'm going to have to cut off several pieces. So I'm going to wait on that. And this is just the process, you guys, of making a wreath. It's all a process. It's all trial and error. I mean, really. So what I've decided to do, though, is here's a really full one, but I'm going to take this one at the bottom, okay? And I'm going to cut it down here. So I can actually cut this off right here and be able to use this stock for something else. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I left this a little longer. Now, this is never going to go into a grapevine wreath. Okay, it looks like it's been folded over. I don't know that to be true, but let's see. So I'm going to cut into this. Might be easier if I had, whoops. See the lights go down? It's freaky. Oh my, looks like real wood. That's really weird. Okay, that's really realistic. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this right off here. So I've got this greenery, and I'm going to bring it a little bit out that way so it can be seen just a little bit more. And then I'm going to put this I have to think about it. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to put it right here. So this could possibly use a pick because it's going to be interesting if it goes in this little sucker. Now I'm just kind of bringing things, kind of seeing where the movement's going to be, seeing what's kind of covered, what's not, where all my openings are. I'm going to go ahead and cut off my tab to my bow. And I made sure that it's good and tight on there before I did that. Okay, so this is where I am right now. And since this one's up a little bit higher, I'm going to bring this one down to this side. Okay, and since this one, let's see, this really should be probably a little bit higher and this should be a little bit lower. So therefore, I want to make sure that I have this on this side. Okay, but I do have two of these because I like it so much. Perfect. One's over here, one's over here, one's down the middle. Okay. So I'm going to come in with some more greenery. And I'm going to, I've got some other ones. Okay, so I've got this one right here, and I've got this one. I'm going to look at these colors with it. And really, I think they both look great. So I'm going to do a few of these because they're a little bit different. All right, so these are 15-inch heather fern bushes, okay? And they did come from, they actually came from a specialty store, but they are the Allstate brand. So they're the Allstate brand, which I know they carry this at Joann's, but I don't know that, oh, look at these. Oh my gosh, do you see that? Those are, these are roots. That's super cool. I will have to save that for another project. All right, now on something like this, if you're not going to use the whole stock, what I would recommend doing is cutting up this a little bit. Normally I do this kind of sitting down a little bit, but take your scissors and go up with it. And really you should use scissors that aren't your favorites because it sometimes gets a little gooey. And okay, so I'm now going to just, oh my dude. Okay, see this? You put that in a place where you're going to remember that it is. Okay. That's where I'm going to remember it is. But it's the little pieces like that. Man, awesome. Okay, so this ended up turning up into something like this. So this is when I'm going to use a pick machine, okay? So to use a pick machine, I'm going to fold this down on itself to give it a little bit more to get in the pick machine, okay? Because in a pick machine, you're not going to have, and I'll show you guys this one day, but it sometimes cannot crimp around things that are super small, okay? So if that happens, you just need to take your pliers and just squeeze it down a little more and make sure it's not going to fall out. Or sometimes you can use your glue gun and just glue that on a little bit better. And then that way you'll make sure it stays in. And then you can stick that in the glue, your pick, and you can just keep going with your design. Okay, so I'm just going to keep giving it some greenery, and that's obviously not enough. I'm going to have to give it some of these big pieces, I think, and those are going to have to be just my little extras. It's just not, it's going to take a lot of those little pieces to do what I want to do. So I want to fill this up. I want it to be a full wreath. Even though somebody might not have it on their door for very long, that's not my worry. My worry is to make a beautiful wreath. So let's lift this up, put this in here. Okay. And again, you can bend it to make it go with the flow of the wreath. Okay. And I'm going to do that again on the other side. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it off. And one of my pieces fell off. And it's that same piece that fell off the other side. So actually that held on. That was for the fern, which did not hold on. So I'm just going to take it off and say, forget about it. All right. And I'll put this right here. So now you can kind of tell with this wreath that, you know, this is all kind of going this way. This is going down. You could make it go in one direction. You could kind of split it. There's no right or wrong reason. There's no right or wrong way. It's just basically how you want it to look. There's a lot of things that I split right here. But there's a lot of things that I just pull it over and keep keep the roundness. But generally, I don't cover the entire thing unless the customer wants me to. I like when I'm doing grapevines to have just a little bit of that grapevine showing. Otherwise, I could do it on a piece of straw, a straw wreath or whatever. So I do like a little bit of that natural element showing. I just think it gives a little bit more to the wreath. So now I've got some more of these little baby ferns, which might look nice and kind of dainty over here coming down. I'm trying to look at it in the camera here. Or I could use it maybe over here as it falls down. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit over here first. Okay. Hold on, guys. All right, so I am going to probably clip that a little bit. I'm going to clip it a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the hot glue. Now again, it's to use or to not use a pick machine. I just look again to see if the diameter is going to be enough to stay in the wreath. If not, I try something else. You can stick a pipe cleaner on it. You can stick numerous things on it. You can put your pipe cleaners in the pick machine to use those after you've wrapped them around. You can do so many things. Make sure to get glue on you though, because wouldn't be a good night if you didn't get glue on you and yourself all tore up now and you drop a few things. All right. I'm going to get a little red over here now and a little red over there. So let's see what we've got. We could do a little bit down here. We could actually pull in a little bit over here if we are going to wrap this all the way around. So do it for instance, and this is just part of designing. Stick something in there. Okay, so there's your greenery. You stuck something in there, and now would you want a little red right here? Would you want that there? So I'm thinking possibly. Yep. First thing I'm going to do though is since this is for Valentine's Day, I'm going to put a little bit of a rose in there. Okay. So okay, so I'm going to stick it right up here. And then I'm probably going to put another one going the other way just to make it feel balanced. And a lot of times we do things kind of in triangles. So if you put some here, you're going to put some over here. But I want to put a little bit more red up here. And red maybe of a little bit of a different flower. Okay. And then I will take one and I will put another one on the other side. Oh, look, these have little babies. Aren't those cute? Oh, definitely want to see all that. So, where are those babies? All right. Okay, so these are all really short pieces, if you can tell. So, I think what I'm going to have to do on this one as well is to put something in it and put a pick in it. Or I could use something large like this. And that's a little bit darker than what I've been using. Or I can use these little hydrangeas that I have. And they're small, but frequently I will cut my hydrangeas up and pick each little piece of it. So I will cut them kind of into pieces, and they come in little mounds, so you can do that. I think. All right, let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so we're going to put this down here. So then this will give us a little bit more of our diagonal effect. Okay, so this is giving us this. Then we're probably going to do a red one down here. All right, so and as far as white goes, we could do white here, here, and here, and that would form a triangle. So let's see what we've got. Actually, we've still got some more of these white ones. So let's go ahead and find us a really good white one. And when I say a good white one, I just want them to all be on there nicely. Is there any with pretty greenery? You know, we got to envision the whole thing because it all goes together. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to have this one be more up in here a little bit. So I'm going to cut this down and I'm going to just take this, cut it down a little bit. And it's actually going to go right up in here. Okay. Now, I have not glued this yet because I'm playing with it. And I'm trying to see what it's going to look like. It's really difficult when these are all jacked up, though. Okay, so I definitely need to get some red down here, and you guys, that's fake. So I need to put some of those in down there, obviously, because that looked pretty good. I was gonna leave it. I'm like, oh yeah, let's leave that. So let's cut some of these bad boys off. Now we could have split this whole thing, okay, and then we would have longer stems here, but I'm okay with cutting a few of these off because I know that I can use them in other projects. Because they're really nice, really nice. So again, this was, yeah, that was an at home. If you can go to at home and get that, that'd be awesome. You'd like it a lot. Okay, so I'm probably going to take a couple of them together and put them in so I can see where they are and see how dense they are, because I'd like to get a good amount of greenery down there. And I'm just going to take this and put this down like that. Okay, so in my mind, those aren't as long as I wanted them to be. So therefore, I'm either going to have to rip this down right here, put a pick on it, or do that, some of that sort of thing, or somehow try to extend it. Oh, I know what I have. Hold on. I haven't used this yet. Well, maybe I don't know how. Damon Oats. Whenever you do things like that, you have to make sure you make a noise. Okay? Make a noise. Then you'll know. How hard was that for me? Should I do that off camera? Was that not attractive? I don't know. Anyway, so I cut it down, and there's all this stuff here. And you guys, sometimes, if you're an easy bleeder, you should wear gloves sometimes, because you cut yourself. This ribbon has all these wires. It goes right into your skin. It cuts you, man. Okay. Last resort is to get your knife out. This is a real deal. This is how it goes. Probably have to shorten this video. And my knives I have here. Let's see. Here's a red knife. Red for Valentine's Day. It's a task force from China. That's all I got. Dang, if I know how to use all these things. Although, I will have to show you guys some of the things I've done. So guys, all I'm doing right now is to try to cut this, okay? And then these pieces will come out. And, oh boy, they're almost with my glue pot. Holy moly, oh boy. This could be a catastrophe. Okay, back down it goes. No need to drop the glue in the floor. No need. I'd rather hurt scissors. Okay, do not try this again without supervision. And if you make the faces, it goes a long way. I'm telling you. Okay, got some out. Yay. All right, gonna put it in here. Boy, I better get some serious satisfaction out of this baby. I'm telling you. All right. let's poke this monster right in there. Actually, I don't think the monster got in there very well. Hold on. The monster's got to get in. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Okay. So this is where we are, guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep playing down here. Okay, so I'm going to bring this around to right here where it's going to stop. And I'm going to stop it right there with some red flowers. Just something similar to that. It could be the roses I could put right there, which looks like a good plan. Looks like this one came from probably General Wholesale. And it's several good pieces, so I may want to hold on to that. I'll keep cutting on this baby. It's been a winner. Where did I get this? General Wholesale, I think. Okay, so, oh, I also have some of these. How about these? Let's just cut one here. I'm going to cut a piece that has a little bit of that white on there. And it's really a little bit of cream. That would add a little bit to it, but that's a whole different deal. So let's keep going. Oh, how we're going. And I just cut a piece out. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and stick this in there. And it looks like I'm going to need to turn back up the skillet. All right. So now we're to there. And now I'm going to do another piece that I've been using all night. Let's see. That's not it. That's it. All right. So I've got these two pieces left. And again, I love it when there's all these different things right here, because I can make this as long or as short or as fat as I want to, which is really awesome. And I'm going to take it right about there, and I'm going to cut it. And just be sure not to cut it too small, because you can always trim it shorter. You just can't make it longer. I mean, you can, but try not to. I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to put this up right in here. Okay. All right, so this is kind of what we have. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of looking, because this looks pretty good when I layer it down the back side of it. Actually, it looks pretty nice. I'm going to tuck it in. So I'm going to tuck it in to see if I like it. And you know, if I'm not on camera and I'm not doing this for you guys, I will sleep on it. I usually sleep on things. I'll do a custom order or do an order, and then I will just wake up the next day, see how I feel about it, you know. So, because I could stick a bunch of these kind of down like this, which looks nice. Grab some bad scissors. Bad scissors, man. Bad scissors. Okay. Okay. Let me do this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get a red flower, and I'm going to put it right down here. And let's see. So I might want it to come in between my greenery like that. Um, and then I could take a little bit more of my white pieces and put them underneath like that. Okay. And it looks like my camera went dead, so I'm gonna have to turn it on a different machine here. Okay. So I will let you know how the finished product goes, and that's it, guys, because right now my thing went jacked up. Hold on, I'm configuring my phone. Wrong. Right. Bluetooth on. Okay. Mevo, connect. We're getting there. Busy, busy, busy. Okay. It says it's still recording. You might record me all night. I don't know. So right now, again, this is another thing where I could use a something to like a toothpick, but I'm going to use a stem that I cut off of something else. Just going to stick it right in there. Okay, that's going to dry, and that's going to be what I put this in here with. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this in here. And I'm just going to put it right underneath it. Okay, so we can have a little bit of both of that. And I'd like the greenery to kind of go in between, if possible. Okay, I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to cut that off. And give it some curls. Now, part of this is kind of a little bit strategic, I guess. So this one is folding over and it's going down this way. All right, so I'm probably going to want to fold this over and take it down the other way, although I am going to cut this. Because some clients don't, the curl method's not really them. They like them straighter, which is totally fine when you get my wreath, because I try to do that at the bottom, and that way That way, if people want to pull them, or if they come down on their own, then at least they'll have a finished edge. And you can always cut them at a little bit of an angle, and that gives it a finished edge of two. But okay, guys, I think we're done for tonight. I'm Holly with Holly Lambert Reese, and this is what our project looks like right now. And I will probably do some fluffing with the bows and everything, but right now this is what we've got. And I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll be doing a lot more. We're going to be doing some tablescapes, florals, deco mesh, centerpieces, you name it. I want to make a vegetable wreath, for real. So thanks, guys, for joining me, and watch my other videos, H. Lambert Designs and Holly Lambert Reese. Thank you. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and any other social platform you can find.